can't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradley and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy. I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing. Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Marcus Brown, I'm Justin Emery.
Yo.
Special day, special show. We told you it was happening, and here we are. Live from the Beef Jerky outlet in Langhorne, PA. Glad to be here. Beautiful, gorgeous place. Almost already dropped, like, what, $1.50 already?
Happens.
It happens. I mean, you got the Cajun barbecue, you got the bacon. You're gonna spend some money.
Turkey jerky. I say it all the time.
That's your thing.
Every time I come here, I get two because I eat one in the car on the way home.
Isn't that your standard with meals? Period. Am I wrong on that? Aren't you the guy that gets a meal on the road, like you go to Burger King?
Smaller.
You get a smaller meal.
The kids' meal for the ride home.
Right.
Regular meal for at home.
Oh, so you do the kids' meal and then you get the adult meal at home.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I respect that.
I mean, it varies from place to place, depending on what's on the menu.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can never wait to get home to eat my food.
So we're in a great place.
Not even a pizza. Like I'll eat like 2 slices of pizza on the way home.
Even super hot?
It is what it is.
Hot spots, let go?
No, it is what it is. I have dropped many slices of pizza on the floor of my car because it was too hot and I burned my mouth. More times than I care.
I gotta wait because like I'm worried about. You get the roof of your mouth, you're done for a couple days.
It is what it is.
You're not tasting anything. Like, you're not tasting the rest of that pizza. You got the skin falling off. I don't want that.
Have you seen how fast I eat?
I have.
There's not much taste going on.
I actually have. I don't even know how you chew.
There's not a lot of taste going on.
You're like a snake.
Anyway,
so it's a gorgeous day outside. We're in a gorgeous establishment. I'm miserable.
Okay.
I hate saying that. I'm miserable. I'm still. I wasn't here on Monday, so I didn't get a chance to come on immediately afterwards, which was probably for the best. So I've had some time to really soak this in, and for me, and it's funny we're doing this today on Wednesday, and we're doing it literally a week after. If we be honest, a week after the season really ended. Mm-hmm. If we really think about it and be honest with ourselves. We all knew
they should be playing tonight,
and again, that's what makes it
Game
hard. Game one tonight at the Wells Fargo
Center.
And if we be honest with ourselves, we can admit that this really was over after Game 5. We all kind of knew that in our heads, but in our hearts, we're still fans, and we still wanted the best. So we didn't want to let it. We still wrote it out to the end. So when we got on the air that Friday, and I did that whole monologue. Looking back, that kind of was like my finale to them because I knew they weren't getting somewhere in my head. I knew they weren't getting past this weekend. When I watched the game on Sunday, I'm sitting there, bro. I was basically emotionless watching this game. Because I just knew deep down they just did not have what it took to get past this point and get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And also, too, I also knew everything that I thought about this team after Game 5 I knew was a lie. Because I knew even if they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, they weren't going to beat Milwaukee or Brooklyn. And that's something that I had thought going in, that I thought that they would get that done. But after watching them have a complete meltdown in a 7-game series against the Hawks, wasn't the case. Again, I'll go through this stat, which is, my favorite. 4 out of the 7 games, you had a double-digit lead, and 2 of those games you blew in a row. That's an 18 and 26 point lead, and really, you almost blew game 6 also too. We got a double-digit lead.
Yeah.
So people always when it comes to sports, I feel people have this thing about sports where it's like, if you're not a fan, you don't understand our pain. You don't feel our pain. So what I want to do right now is break down to a novice why we are hurting so bad and why this feels the way it does. Everyone loves money, right? People generally love money, and investing is huge. Everyone right now, I think most people like investing. I'd say 20, 25 years ago was something that I feel like only people who were wealthy already were inspired to do and knew how to do. But I think today with the apps like Robinhood and I think it's Stack is the other one.
TD Ameritrade.
Stash. I'm sorry, Stash. TD Ameritrade. Yeah, you have a lot of apps that allow people to invest. So people have started to really invest their money, right? Well, look at it this way. Think about you investing in a stock and you putting all the chips on the table because you got a good tip. Maybe you feel like it's going to go, in your favor. So you put all your chips on the table and you watch this stock grow over months and months and months and months. And you see it double, triple, quadruple, and you're just in your glory. Then all of a sudden one day, unbeknownst to you, and it wasn't anything catastrophic, wasn't supposed to happen, the stock just plummets and you lose everything. That's how I feel today. I feel like I invested in this team in December, and I invested my time. I invested my energy. I defended this team when, everybody, the national experts, some local, said they didn't have what it takes. I was on my soapbox constantly speaking about the Brooklyn Nets and how I believe we were superior to them and why the Milwaukee Bucks, everybody. I was so upset with everyone for not taking the Sixers seriously. And then you go and do this to me and make me look like a whole fool.
So I happen to have all of my notes here from the show on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I've never got rid of them. So
yeah.
The big topic for Monday was we were doing character flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This team has character flaws. The players have character flaws.
Yes.
Right? The coach is a new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He did not do a good job of integrating himself with the history of the team over the last 6-7 years. Because he sat here and said, well, it was good because last year they got swept in the playoffs.
Right.
What?
Right.
What? So the process, this is what I was breaking down on Monday. The process was meant to set up so that you're not a middling, mid-seed playoff team that gets knocked off in the second round.
Right.
So if your goal was to not be a middle seed, the process was a success. But you're still now a top-ranked seed getting knocked out in the second round.
Yeah.
So it's 2021.
Mm-hmm.
2012 was the year they lost in the second round to, I believe it was.
I'm sorry, the Celtics.
The Celtics.
They beat the Bulls, lost the Celtics.
Yes. Because Derrick Rose, was it Joakim Noah got hurt?
It was Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah got hurt, Taj Gibson got hurt. They lost pretty much their entire starting lineup.
Okay. You have nothing to show for the last 9 years.
Right.
Nothing. Did you make it to the conference finals?
Nope, not yet.
No.
So, yeah,
I heard a stat the other day. In the last 10 tries in the second round of the playoffs, the Sixers have lost 9 of them. The only one that they happened to win was 2001. And that goes back until 83.
yeah.
I was 6 years off from being born at that point in time.
But I'm glad you brought that up because, I've heard the stories of that run of 77 to 83, 84, and, how hard it was because the team would be really good. And, you think they were going to be successful in the playoffs. And they lost every year except 83. And, I just feel like I thought really like we would be this wouldn't replicate that. I had high hopes for this run. I had high hopes for the squad. And those hopes right now are hanging on by a thread. They're on life support. Because here's the thing, and we're going to talk. We're obviously getting the Ben Simmons conversation. Like, how can we not? But I don't want people to be fooled and think that Ben Simmons is the only problem this team has. Like, Ben Simmons is a huge problem, and I don't even know if Ben Simmons is the biggest problem. I'm not even sure he's the biggest issue. It's a problem, but he's the biggest problem. And I can go through a laundry list of things, and with this team, I'm gonna start with the bench, which was a huge issue, and something again that I defended. I'm sure you defended. A lot of people did. You know, having no idea who your first guy was off the bench, who was your second guy off the bench. Like, listen, Dwight Howard's a lot of fun, and like, you know, he was very joyous, but he basically turned into a fan in the second round of the playoffs. He really gave you nothing in that series.
That was a monumental failure.
He gave you nothing.
He was terrible.
Shake Milton gave you next to nothing. You got a stretch of about 5 minutes out of him. You know, you got really nothing, like to the point where you were depending on a 20-year-old kid to be your savior. And it shouldn't have been that way. You know, I listened to Daryl Moore's press conference today, and he was trying to convince me that George Hill had a good run with the team. And you're like, I know that's speak, you know, obviously you want to bury the guy, but no. And honestly, I compared him to this. I compared him like the way Philly, right? Give me my Matt Stairs moment. Hit a big shot. You know, do something that will stand out as part of this run. And he never had that moment. He never had that happen. So, you know, and then, you know, the idea of the head coach. Like, I have no idea, based on the track record of Glenn Rivers, I have no idea if he's going to be the guy to bring this team to the promised land, based on not this year, but based on his history in the playoffs over the past 7 years. Like, you were on a loaded Clippers team, and this is the first year they've made it to the Western Conference Finals, and they did it without you. Meanwhile, you're losing in the second round of the playoffs to a team that you should have beat in 5 to 6 games. And there were fundamental flaws and fundamental things that I saw that he was doing that was concerning. Like, bro, how do you not know that you should not be using a 10-man rotation in a game 7? A 10-man rotation in a game 7?
So
Are you out of your mind?
The game 7 Bucks Nets. Do you know how many guys played in that game? How many different guys played in that game?
Combine both teams, I'm going to say maybe 12 to 14.
Right in the middle. 13 guys played in that game.
Yeah, because Kevin
10
Durant
guys played for the Sixers every game.
Yeah, and like, but and listen,
You got to shorten your bench.
Game 7 is a different animal.
It doesn't matter.
We don't have a tomorrow, so we need to do everything. It's like you know, in baseball, like, you know, you're like you're in the playoffs. You got your ace on the mound. You're giving me 9. You can give me 9. I need 9 out of you today. And like, this is a game you should have looked at. You know, Embiid, Simmons, Harris, Curry. Listen, I need 45 out of you guys today.
Yeah.
I need 45. And like, honestly, closer to 48. 47, maybe 48. That's what you need. So it's just one of those things where, again, Ben Simmons is a problem. There's no question he's a problem that we need to figure out, but he's not the only problem. And I don't even know if he's the biggest problem.
No, he's the biggest problem. Okay. Because
Well, you're not going to have to say after break.
that's fine. Won't be the first time. But he's the biggest problem because there's so many sub-problems that trickle off because of a byproduct of him. So if he's the root of all of the problems.
He's a giant root. Big tree growing up there.
I pulled up his stats. I got it right here, okay, for the series, okay? Game 1, he shot 1 for 1 in the fourth quarter.
It's good 100%. It's good.
Game 2, he shot 0 for 0.
It's not good.
Okay. Game 3, he shot 2 for 2.
It's not good.
Game 4, 0 for 0. Game 5.
I think game 3 was his last shot in the fourth quarter, right?
Game 5, 0 for 0. 6, 0 for 0. And 7, 0 for 0.
Yeah.
So if you're doing the math, it's 3 for 3 across 7 games.
Yeah.
Do you know how many minutes he played in the fourth quarter?
Most of them.
Take a guess.
In all games combined?
In all the games combined, how many fourth quarter minutes do you think he played?
So, quick math, 72 minutes total in the fourth quarter. So,
84 total minutes.
84.
Like that's how many he possibly could have played. How many minutes do you think he played?
75.
67.
Okay.
He shot 3 shots in 67 minutes. Every player on the court would be at least a foot taller than me, and I promise you, in 67 minutes, I will shoot more than 3 times.
You're a shooter.
I will shoot 67 times every 3 minutes.
Well, I mean, we since we're on the topic, we need to go right to the play. The play that's what we talked about and rewound throughout history, the history of time. When we watched a nearly 7-foot man turn down a dunk on a 5'5" human being.
Mm-hmm.
That basically was like dunking on you at that point. And the idea, so I've watched this play like everyone else several times, but like it's nice to be able to watch it over the course because I get this. When you kind of at first you're just looking at Ben, but then you're expanding your view to look at everything else. So I started looking back to see the other players' reactions when he did this. And if you look out at 3-point line and you watch Embiid and Seth Curry's reaction, Seth Curry throws his hands up and walks away. Embiid throws his hands out. And I've tried to read the lips several times. Embiid says something to him as he goes back towards the 3-point line. And I'm sure it wasn't anything pleasant, and especially based on Embiid's post-game comments about Ben Simmons. So let's just get into him. Because here's the thing about Ben Simmons that's frustrating. One of the most frustrating things for me. There's millions of things that's frustrating about him. This is one of the most frustrating. Is that the idea that most people in this city doesn't root for him, doesn't want him to succeed, is preposterous. There is a loud minority that does not like him. Just flat out can't stand him. They're out on him.
He's not necessarily a likable person.
Right. I'm talking about on the court, though. On the court, there's a loud minority that just didn't see that other stuff, didn't care about the assists, didn't care about the defense, didn't care about any of that
It's really
stuff.
hard to like someone who can't shoot in the game of basketball.
Right.
I
I would say, I think
this.
Yeah,
Do you like your quarterbacks to be able to throw?
that's important. But I think it's fair. But I also think it's fair to say that most people saw the other things that he did really well and was rooting for him to fix this problem. I don't think it's the past 5 years that he's been here. I don't want to paint the picture and the narrative that this has been a place where everybody here has been rooting against him. Nobody sees the defense, the assists, the rebounding, the pace. Nobody else sees those things.
When you get a chance, go back and look at him, his rookie year in the
Summer League. I've already seen it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He's shooting fadeaways.
Yeah.
Mid-range jump shots.
Yeah, which is why, and you're kind of leading me to my point, is that what we're learning about Ben Simmons as the human being Ben Simmons is that there are some big time psychological deficiencies that he has as a human being. And that's not anything that I know how to help with. Like, this is deeper than, take him out to a shooting coach, have him shoot 100, 500 jump shots, 1,000 free throws, or reverse that order, whatever you want to do. This is deeper than that. Like, there is some, when I saw him on that play, back down Gallinari, back him down, have a clear, there was, when he turned and spin around, there was nobody there except Trae Young waiting for him to finish. Trae Young had already conceded that he was going to finish. Trae Young's going to play good defense on a good day. Trae Young's not going to get involved in the idea of Simmons and pick up that foul or risk the contact. He's not doing that. So when he threw the ball to Matisse Thybulle, who wasn't even open, Matisse Thybulle wasn't even open, and Matisse catches the ball and he's like, I guess, and he goes up, and I mean, two guys, he gets fouled by Gonari, and Matisse Thybulle isn't a good free throw shooter. He can't even shoot free throws. So the idea that that's a psychological problem. That's an issue psychologically.
Do you think he has a thoracic injury?
Yeah.
No.
So how is it the fact? So yeah, and it's funny you bring him in here because again, this is the pain that you experience with this whole thing. Is that what is going on in that organization?
See, here's the bigger
where
problem.
we have two guys.
But I'll tell you the biggest problem with that play. Right? The problem isn't that he passed the ball. Right? That's not the problem. No, that's not the problem.
No, that's a problem for me.
No, the problem is that he didn't even think to shoot it. That's the bigger problem. That he just instinctively said, I'm going to pass the ball. The bigger issue is that he didn't even have the idea of the thought process to put the ball back up.
I think it's all one problem. Like it comes out of fear. Like the bottom line is he was thinking so much about going to the line that he didn't want to take the risk of getting fouled and having to have that pressure on him. Even you go to a play, and this is probably one of the biggest plays of Game 7, positive for the Sixers, that Embiid dunk, where Embiid goes coast to coast. You're a point guard. You shouldn't be giving the ball up to your center there. And like a lot of the turnovers that Embiid had, and I think he had 8 turnovers total in Game 7, a lot of those turnovers were based on the fact that he was doing things that he should not have been asked to do because he didn't trust his point guard.
Yeah, I hate watching Embiid dribble.
And we shouldn't have to.
Every time I watch him dribble, I get worried about it.
He's a baby giraffe. He really is. He has the coordination of a baby giraffe, especially dribbling the basketball. Embiid's a guy that should not have to do. It should be 1-2 shot, 1-2 shot, 1-2 spin shot. Like that should be Embiid's dribbling. I don't mind he had a guy on ISO situation, and that little 2-3 dribbles to the jump shot. I have no problem with that. That's his bread and butter. But the idea of Embiid at the top of the key, dribbling to spin to the basket, I want no parts of that. But the reason why he does things like that is because he gets to a point where he doesn't trust the point guard. There were several times in that first half, and B was bringing the ball up the court.
I know.
He was bringing the ball up the court. Like, that's how much of a non-factor Ben Simmons became, where Ben Simmons was so fractured and ruined by his foul shooting and all of that even the things that he did really well, he didn't even want to do those things anymore. And that's where we're at right now. And before I go to the next part, I myself, like everyone else, I get it. I understand people are fed up. I understand you're frustrated with him. I am in the same place. I don't even look at him for the next 6 months. If he sends a video out this summer of him shooting jump shot with no shirt on in a gym, I am going to find that gym. I'm going to find that gym personally, and I'm going to drive my car through that gym.
Right. I'd say you got to.
That's what's going to happen.
It's probably a 90% chance they're on UCLA's campus.
I don't want to see any footage of you shooting jump shot shirtless. That does nothing for me anymore.
What it'll be is, and it won't be consecutive shots. It'll be splices of video with Drake underneath it.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to see it. So I get it. I understand the frustration level of everyone. Everyone wants to trade him. I think it's best to trade him too. However, let's go back 6 months ago. When we were talking Ben Simmons trade, we were talking about the possibility of trading Ben Simmons for James Harden. James Harden, a top 5 player in the league, top 10 if we're nitpick. That's what a big time player in the league. That was 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not sit here and act like the GMs, coaches.
It's like 3 months ago.
Yeah, let's not sit here and act like the GMs, coaches, and everyone does not have cable television and did not watch a man wilt on national television. Like, what do you like at this point now? I don't want to trade Ben Simmons for Kyle Kuzma. I don't want that. But the thing is, that's kind of what you're faced with. If you're going to trade him, you're going to have to. If you trade him right now, this summer, You have to live with the fact that you're not getting anything of significant value for him. And someone's going to look at him as a reclamation project, similar to Marco Fultz. It's going to be basically the same thing. You might actually get less for him than you do for Marco Fultz.
So you're going to be moving him for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Because everybody saw what happened on national TV, and he has no trade value right now.
Right. He's a laughing stock.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at getting a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon. Okay. You know, we made fun of him enough on the show, so we can just bypass him. But do you really want Malcolm Brogdon on the Sixers?
No, I don't.
Okay. So I think you got to trade him, but I don't think now's the time to trade him. Okay. Now I can't say enough bad things about this guy. Okay? Like, I want him out of town.
Yeah.
But you got to let him rack up pointless triple doubles throughout the course of the regular season, build up his trade stock, and then move him at the trade deadline next year. Because I don't think it's the end of the world if you bring him in knowing you're going to move him at the trade deadline.
Yeah, but if I'm an NBA executive, if I'm an NBA executive, that's not even good enough for me because we've seen that movie before. So if I'm an executive, I am waiting until another playoff run for you to prove to me that things are different. I would not even, and that's what I'm saying like right now with them is that they're in a position right now where I don't think you're going to be able to move him, period.
But what if through the first, say, 50 games next year, he averages 18, 9, and 9,
Doesn't matter.
70%?
Doesn't matter.
Team would trade for him.
No, because we've seen the movie before. You've seen that. 18. The thing is, those are numbers that he consistently puts up. The guy's been he's a 3-time All-Star. It's a 3-time All-Star.
He hasn't.
He made all defense this year.
From foul shots, though. If he can bring up his percentage to 70%.
Right.
If he averaged 18 points and shot 70% from the foul line, he'd win an MVP award.
The problem is, so 70 would improve. So regular season, he shot 59% from the line. So that's an improvement.
His career
doubt.
is 63%. So he's shooting almost 10% above his career average for him to hit 70. You think the team would not want to trade for him then?
No.
Because he'd be having a career season.
No, not in the regular season. Because what I just feel this playoff, this second round was so bad. And it's not the first time this happened. The biggest problem is this is not the first time we've seen this. He did this in Toronto series. He did this in Celtics series. This is 3 playoffs in a row that Ben Simmons in the second round of playoffs has completely vanished. And not just vanished as far as someone stopped him. He vanquished himself. He removed himself. That is a scary proposition for a team that wants to take him on. So I don't think that you can. I think, listen, if you're a Sixers fan, you better pray. Whatever God you pray to, you better pray. You better do it every night, light some candles, put a 25 in your candles, whatever you need to do. You better pray that somebody gets to this kid this summer and fixes him. Because this is our problem. This is a Philadelphia 76ers problem. Nobody else, like the idea that you think, not you personally, but the idea that people out there think that we're going to get Damian Lillard.
I think that.
For Benson. You do?
I mean, not straight up, but if you give him the 15 first-round picks with it, and Maxey and Thibault.
I like your positivity, but hell no. That ain't happening. Damian Lillard or even CJ McCollum. You're not getting CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons.
You might, only because Portland is so out on him right now.
And maybe they are, but listen. So first take, we all know first take. The day after that, the day after we were talking about all the Simmons stuff, Stephen A. said point blank, he got a text from Portland, I'm jumping to conclusion, I think it was Dame. Said, we don't want no parts of Ben Simmons. Dame probably said, listen, I'm hearing these rumors out here. Don't bring this man out here or I'm out of here. That's not gonna work for me. That's not it. So the idea, so I'm going through the list. Dame, CJ, Luka, please. Dame, CJ, Luka. And Luka Doncic really, I mean, it looks like signs are pointing that he wants to leave Dallas based on everything that's happened there. It's an implosion. However, if you're Mark Cuban, no. This is going to be, to quote Randy Jackson, that's going to be a no for me, dog. It's not happening. It's not happening. So we're at a point now where you go through the summer. Like I said, I'm half kidding, but I'm also serious. You better pray, because this is a Sixers problem, and this is going to be a Sixers problem until this is solved. And the only way it's solved for us is.
So we might have to do a road trip for the show. You know those candles? It has like saint or whatever, and you light the candle. But they have all sorts of crazy ones.
Yeah. Can we make one?
We don't have to make one. There's a store in Baltimore that I've seen a Ben Simmons one at. Yeah.
We gotta go. We need a Ben Simmons candle. We got listen.
It's like right at Fells Point.
Oh, we go to Fells Point too? Oh, yeah. I'm totally in.
It's right by Fells Point.
I'm in.
They have a Little Wayne one there too if you need it.
A Wayne candle?
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Ice Cube?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, all right. No, we really need, like, at the end of the day, I know everyone. It's like, you gotta look at Ben Simmons like your child, right? You gotta look at him like your child, and they really, really get under your skin. Like, if you're a parent out here and you're listening to this, you understand. When your kid gets under your skin and you're like, I don't want to see your face for at least 24 hours, or I'm afraid what I may do to you. I've been there. I know what that's like. I know exactly what that's like. And, like, you love your children to death, but sometimes they do things that you just need to walk away for a minute. We all need to walk away for a minute. But we need to think about this. And I know everyone wants to trade Ben Simmons. I understand those feelings. And if I could, I would. But you can't. Because you're not going to get the return that you want for him. And let's be positive for just 1 second. Just 1 second. Ben Simmons is still only 24 years old. He's a baby. Similac on the breath. He's a baby. So I know it feels like he's been here forever, and he's been here for 10 years, but he's only 24 years old. And I don't know. Maybe this, because listen, I looked at that press conference, looked at his face. He looked like a broken man. And this was the first time
he conveniently remembered to put his face mask on.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was the first time where, like, I looked at him and I saw contrition. I saw a man that looked defeated and understand that he needs to do something different. But this cannot, like, this is bad. So I know, and Daryl Morey said Doc and him had a long conversation about the things that he needed to work on. So listen, if you're a Sixers fan, pray for Ben Simmons, pray for Glenn Rivers, pray for this team, pray for the process. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're in a special place. We got to have a special guest. And a special guest is here, and he will join us live on the other side. Brad Memory Morning, Marcus Brown, just a memory, right back.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, or shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMY for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits. But it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years.
Hits. Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between. Nah, see, it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Bram. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatanian fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time. Yeah, man, welcome back. Bradman in the morning. Marcus Brad, I'm Justin Emery. Over here to get my snack on.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna, my goal is to be rolled out of here. I'm looking for that to happen.
I can pull the car right to the door.
Yeah, it's right to roll me out of here. I might just sit in here and eat my weight in jerky. So again, I told you we had a special guest. Man's been around. If you followed me at all, you know on my previous runs of shows, this man's been an integral part. We have our own Totally Unclear show. He's a celebrity to most, you know, Survivor fame. But to us, he's just Peanut Head. What's up, Uncle Jarvis?
Oh, we starting off like that? We starting off like that? Okay.
Listen, you heard us, you know, you heard we were talking about the Sixers. We're a beautiful day outside in the beautiful beef jerky outlet.
Yes.
We're being fed just amazing food. We're miserable.
I don't know why you're miserable.
Hold on. I'm going to stop you right there. I don't want to hear any, you got 30 summers, 60 winters. Listen, I don't want to hear any of that bullshit. Don't give me any of that. Like, here's the deal. You know why you didn't start the show? I knew you were going to come on here with something weird.
That's not
And so,
weird.
yes, you are. You're telling me I shouldn't be miserable and upset about what I just watched.
No, exactly. Why are you upset? You trusted the process. Why are you upset? You bought into the tomfoolery going on. Why are you upset?
Okay, hold on.
Why are you upset?
Hold on. So
let's understand something. You are a Philadelphia fan. Did you not see this coming?
Let me ask you a question real quick. So were you not? I'm assuming you didn't buy into the process.
No.
Okay, why? What was it specifically about it that you did not like, that you did not buy in for?
The fact that we're going to tank and be miserable all these years.
Okay, so now we're going to have to go through the whole...
And then you're going to get these superstars. Yes, it's great. We got the superstars that we wanted to get. But let's look at the superstars we got. Okay?
That's not the process. That's a different conversation.
The fact that you can't pick, that's not the issue with the process. That just means that we have terrible GMs who make burner accounts on Twitter.
What's the definition?
You're making my day worse, by the way. I was hoping for you to make my day better. You're making it worse.
What was the definition of the process?
The process
to tank to get better players to win each chip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did that.
So you're telling me
correct. They did part A. They tanked.
Yeah.
They did part B. They got the players. They can't do part C.
Right.
You know why?
Because they fired Sam.
Because the process don't work.
No.
That's why.
That's revisionist history. That's not fair. Because going in this playoff run, we've had conversations, right? All the text. We've talked about this team.
We have.
And you're going to sit here and tell me, going into this playoff, you did not think this team could make the finals.
Yes, that's what I'm going to tell you.
You're a liar.
I'm going to tell you that.
Hold on. Oh, no.
Do you know why I changed my mind?
Let me get my receipts out.
And you know why I changed my mind?
You changed your mind Game 5 like everyone else.
No.
You changed your mind?
I changed my mind before Game 5.
Oh, my gosh. No, you didn't.
I changed my mind that first game they lost to the Hawks. That's when I changed my mind.
Game 1.
Game 1. And you know
so you looked at Game 1 and you thought they weren't good enough to beat that team.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. No, they're good enough to beat that team, but they weren't going to beat that team. You know why? Because that team is built different. And you can see the difference in the build, how that team was built and how our team is built. that team came to play. They come to play ball, and they just have a different skill set that we don't have.
No, that's not true.
Shooters. They got
do have
shooters.
but
And here's the deal.
listen, this is a hill I'm prepared to die on. The Sixers were a better team than the
this
Hawks.
is why the process doesn't work, because the league has changed to be shooters. And the Sixers don't have the one thing you need in this league. Shooters.
I'm not going to argue. Their shooters are
But
definitely
that's
better
the
than our
problem.
shooters.
This isn't
That's not a problem.
like, we know I love old school basketball. You love it. We love that old school play of the 80s and the early 90s.
Yeah.
Where you pounded in the paint.
Yeah.
We have a dude that could do that, but doesn't, because the game has changed. It's about shooting. Curry changed the game in such a way that everybody shoots. Even our big man Embiid shoots threes.
Yeah.
But the whole team shoots on every other team, it seems like. Everybody can shoot a three. Even Draymond Green will throw up threes.
Yeah, he shoots like 25%.
It doesn't matter, but he'll shoot them. We are not built. We have a team that's not built to win, which is shooting. The game last night, Clippers, Suns. Inbound pass, goes away to the corner. He could have drove to the lane. The only person in front of him was Paul George, but he could have drove to. They're down one. Why not drive to the lane for a layup? Get fouled because they're in a bonus. He shot a three and missed. Yeah, it's a wide open three, but you only need one to win. Why are you shooting a three?
Right.
Because the game has changed. You shoot threes. We're not built that way. We don't have shooters. So already we're at a deficit right there. We're not in a good spot right there. Embiid played great. People can talk all they want and say what he didn't do. The turnovers that last game. Listen, it's game 7. He's trying to do everything he can to help you win. You're going to make mistakes probably because you're compensating for a guy that won't shoot.
Right.
And Ben Simmons. Listen, I'll admit, I still had hope for Ben Simmons up until game 7, until he didn't take that dunk. At that moment, I lost all hope for this dude. It's inconceivable that you don't take that shot. You don't go for a layup or an easy dunk.
Let me ask you. So you played like I did too. You know, you played
and still do,
and you played.
Still drop 20 in the paint.
You played. You just played street ball, right? So
Is that on 2K?
so you listen. You know, like what would have happened on the playground if Ben Simmons was on the playground?
Oh, they'd be fighting.
We fighting.
We fighting.
We fighting, and you're out to get off my team.
Yes, we're fighting.
You got to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so listen, that was very well said. You know, very eloquently spoken. I disagree with 80% of what you said.
But you have to
you put. Here's what you did is you put a nice bow and a nice box or a bunch of crap in the middle of that.
Listen,
that's what you did. It was very well said.
This is what people always do. You reference kids earlier. You know, you have your kid. Listen, my son Gunner. I know how Gunner is. I know how Gunner is.
I know we're first naming him.
I know how Gunner acts. But you know what? When I go into a certain situation, I know if I bring Gunner, I know what's going down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know how he's going to act. The Sixers have Ben Simmons.
Are you guys doing crimes together? What is that? What are you doing? Like, what was that?
Listen, I know. Listen, when we go, don't show your butt off when we go in this house, because if you do, you get in the business when you get home. Like, he's going to act up if he's that type of child. You know your children.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying.
The Sixers know Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
For Doc, I'm not calling him Glenn. I'm going to call him
He's Glenn.
Y'all don't like it now. He got to be Glenn. Okay, y'all was calling him Doc when he got here. You still call him Doc now.
No,
that's what you do. So Doc should have made that adjustment. He shouldn't even play that game. Started the game for sure. Ben shouldn't have started. Yeah. But here's the problem. When you do something so well, which is his defense, because he played great defensively. People are trying to trash him for his defensive game too. Yo, he was stripping Trae Young from the back all the time, and he's looking at his pants like, yo, I'm hitting it from the back. Get the ball. They're not getting the ball.
Yeah.
He played good D. He played good defense, but you got to have the offense with it because the league has changed. You got to have both. Dennis Rodman days are over.
Right.
You can't be a Dennis Rodman and just grab boards, block shots, and intimidate in the paint and not shoot the ball.
Right.
Because you don't have Jordan on your side of offense to shoot the ball.
Yeah, but here's what. So what you're saying 45,000 different things, and none of them go in the same.
And they all tie to the
no, they don't.
right down
None of
the
this
same
ties
lane.
together.
All
Because
right there.
You're making you're kind of changing things and
I
putting
actually
here
think
and
I
putting
think you
over
argue
there.
against yourself a little bit.
Yeah, right. Like so, the process has nothing to do with the way the league is now. Those are two separate arguments. Literally, one's over here and one's over here. The process had to
The
happen.
process doesn't have anything to do with player development.
Right,
Doesn't have anything to do with individual draft picks. It's just acquiring the draft picks.
right.
So it's not. It's
But
not,
you have to acquire the right draft pick.
I mean, like,
That's-
listen,
I'm not. But
that's
this
the
is
process.
I'm not drafting
Listen,
Markel
listen.
Fultz instead of Jason Tatum.
But
that's
right,
not my.
but listen,
but that's not the
If you-
process's fault.
So if you do the
He
process,
drafted the wrong guy.
you tank and you get a bunch of Markel Fultz. The process that
Yeah, but it's not.
work.
But that's not. But it's not a bunch of Marco fault. This I don't have a like. Listen,
But
the
that's
guys.
not the issue.
Most of the
with
guys
it.
they've drafted,
process has
I don't have
nothing
a
to do
problem.
with that. The
So-
process is acquiring the pick to get. Now, the fact that you drafted Markel Fultz, that's personnel issue. Personnel has nothing to do with the process. It's
And wait,
acquiring the
and
picks.
hold
But the
on a
process
second.
just-
Hold on, Marco Fultz. Hold on,
It's
Marco
acquiring
Fultz.
the picks.
Hold on, Marco
Okay,
Fultz.
then the process worked. If you want to make a blanket statement like that, yes, the process worked. Because you did what you're supposed to do. You tanked to get the picks. And that worked. Okay, process worked. Checked. Okay, great. So let's never talk about the process again, because that worked. So let's move on to the good stuff.
Yeah, but we can talk about Marco Fultz and act like we didn't want that pick to happen at the time. We did. Like most people didn't. Most people, Jason Tatum, what he is now. Oh yeah, 1,000%. I would take Tatum over there now. But that's revisionist history also. Like that's a problem with the experts you hear talking about drafting. They don't know. Nobody
You know,
knows.
yesterday was the 4-year anniversary of drafting Fultz.
Great anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, nobody knows for sure. When you draft a player, you're taking a chance.
Correct.
Taking a chance. So when Fultz was picked at number 1, everyone was excited because what did everyone say? This is the perfect compliment to Ben Simmons. He does all the things that Ben Simmons cannot do. So the idea that Marco Fultz in college was a shooter and then got to the NBA and forgot how to shoot a basketball is totally on brand for the 76ers. That's pretty much the microcosm of this whole situation with them and how we got here in the first place.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to say they should have took Tatum because at the same time, I wanted Fultz. I think most people did. But again, to Justin's point, the process was about assets.
Okay.
It was about assets, getting the idea of accumulating enough assets so you can have a chance to draft the right players for a roster. And for the most part, I think the Sixers got it right.
Yes, it worked.
For the most part, they got it right.
In that sense, it worked.
Yeah.
Again, if you're going to make it a blanket short statement, yes, it worked. But it's more than that because you can. It's great that you got those picks, but it has to be more than that because the whole point is to win a championship. It all goes hand in hand. This is the beginning part. This is day one. This is your first step.
See, I don't think a championship is guaranteed, though.
No, it's not.
Like, what I mean by that, what I'm saying is that, like, for me, and that's interesting you said that because a lot of people have, like, different degrees of what's going to make them happy. Like, obviously, I want a championship. Don't get me wrong. Who doesn't? But my thing was I wanted the process because I wanted to have a shot to be in contention every year, a serious contention, right? The problem is going into this, we weren't in serious contention. When they won that series against the Bulls, we knew it was fool's gold. When after the bottom thing, you knew they had nothing. So now it's about being a championship contender every year and hopefully getting one or two.
No, it's not. It's not about it's about getting it. It's not about being a contender. It's not about competing every year for these championships and not getting it. It's about getting it. No, nobody wants to win. Nobody wants to go far every year and lose. Nobody wants to get to the conference finals and lose.
Of course not.
Right. It's about winning. It's not about competing. It's about winning.
Right.
So the beginning, day one, is the process then. Okay, to tank, to acquire those picks. But it's all connected. We can talk about what we want and pick out what we want to talk about in that whole line. But beginning is tanking, ending is championship.
Mhm.
We're not there.
No,
So
we thought we were.
So the process doesn't work. It's not working in the big scheme from beginning to end. But if you want to break it down piece by piece, yes, you're right. The process did work because that worked. Now you have to go to drafting. Does drafting work? drafting wasn't working, and you go
But
keep on
the
breaking
thing is-
down every part of it.
But drafting's not part of the process.
No, you're right. I'm
Because
talking about
drafting-
I'm talking about the whole line, beginning to end is what we're talking about. You want to talk about just the process? Yes, the process worked. You tanked, you got your picks. Done.
You know what's amazing about you?
Now we can put that in the
talk,
next
you talk for
package.
like
Put it
15
in.
minutes, and then I agree with you, and then you take it all away, and I disagree with you. You say something at the end to just prove. I'm like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What? No, that's not. All right, so listen. We're going to keep the special guests rolling. Online was right now from Tweeting the Brand podcast. You talk about conspiracies, but we're going to get in that 76ers talk. Twitty, what's up, man?
What's happening, boys? Nice to be back with you live.
Yeah, man. Yeah. On a mixed day, a day of a lot of beautiful things happening. Again, we're at the Beef Jerky Outlet Live. Beautiful day outside, but we are miserable. We're absolutely miserable. I don't think I need to tell you why we're miserable. So take me inside.
It's going to be a while before that misery goes away.
Yeah. Well, take me inside. What are your feelings right now on everything you've seen this past week with this team?
So I'm going to preface this by saying, in his time in Philly, I've been somewhat of a Ben Simmons fan. Obviously, it pales in comparison to Joel. And at this point, I'm still a fan of some of the things he could do on the court. But I'm sitting here watching this series over the last 2 weeks, and you see a guy who's not developing in any way his lesson skills. And then when it comes down to crunch time in the fourth quarter, we can't even watch him do the things he's supposed to be good at.
Yes, and I agree with 1,000% everything you said. I don't know if you were listening earlier. Here's the problem, is that everything you just said, while that all is true, it has directly affected the bottom line of his trade value. You're going to
That's 100% sure.
You're going into this offseason now where you had a chance to get a superstar for him, 5-6 months ago, and now you're lucky to get a mid player for him, a maybe guy off the bench, something like that. So my thing is now, I don't think you can trade him.
Well, Marcus, it's okay though, because according to him, he's going to finally set foot inside a gym and do a little skill development for the first time in his career.
Yeah, and hopefully that doesn't involve his brothers or anyone in his family, because that's we haven't even gotten to the Stephen A. what he dropped yesterday on a show about how a source very close to the organization said that Ben does not work. He's coddled. He's surrounded by family and yes men, and this is the problem of why this is all this way. So
yeah, it sucks because you don't want to take an unverified statement at face value, but it absolutely cracks with everything we know and have heard about the guy over the last few years.
Yeah, it does, and I don't know if you guys watched the documentary on him that came out his rookie year or whatever.
No.
He can't. Listen. I knew the Sixers were going to draft him, so I looked at it like, okay, from a different set of lenses. But he came up with a spoiled entitled brat in that documentary. Like, he looked like a guy that was handed everything from birth and basically told he's going to be the chosen one. That entire doc, and he you kind of get that from him based on the way he plays. Listen, this is what I do. This is what I'm effective at doing, and this is all I'm doing. That's kind of how his energy has been since he's been here. And what my point in all this is that when it comes to him is that hopefully, this was an enormous wake-up call for him. And now he's going to try to do the right things to actually improve his game. Because as a Sixers fan, the best case scenario is he comes back next year and he plays like you've always wanted him to play. That's the best case scenario. Because you're not, again, like I said, Dame, McCollum, Luka, Steph, you're not getting any of these guys for him.
Has he ever played for a coach that wasn't family or a family friend?
So, Brett Brown, we know the connection there.
LSU?
Yeah.
High school? Then previously to high school in Australia, who was his coach?
Is he connected to Glenn Rivers at all? I know Glenn loves him. I think Glenn Rivers loves him more than Austin Rivers. He loves Austin Rivers. You see what he talks about his own son? He hates Austin Rivers. He said, he traded. Not only he traded him, Austin Rivers had a shot to come here last summer. He's like, yeah, don't come here. We're good. which I've seen Austin Rivers play basketball. I'd be mad too. I'd be upset about that too. I think he actually like his son-in-law better than his own son. He's like, oh, Seth, you come over for dinner. Austin, you sit outside. You're eating in the backyard tonight.
Well, especially after this series.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's.
You might let Seth things ahead of the table now.
Right. Well, isn't that ultimately what makes this hurt so more? You get Seth Curry, who averaged through this series
about
like
36.
What do you average? 20 in the series? About
24.
Probably higher.
Yeah. So you get a 36 spot out of him. You get 24 out of him. He steps up in a way that you didn't know was possible. Like we knew Seth could shoot, but Seth was out here creating his own shot. Like he was out here, he was playing confident, and we waste that.
But why? But here's a question.
22 points.
Why is that? Because he was given the opportunity to do it. There are a lot of guys that are sitting on the bench that had terrible stats because they're bench players. But if you give them the opportunity to play and shine, they will play and shine. But that's part of coaching. You have to recognize that as a coach about your players, that there is that potential there.
So are you saying there are people on this team that aren't getting the opportunity?
I'm just saying that's across the league, just period. Like there are guys that are on a bench that all of a sudden you get them you play them and they light it up. Like, where was this at all this time? Yeah, there's just players that are better than you, so you're maybe not get that shot.
Well, Glenn was literally pulling people out of the stands. That's how deep his bench was.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you want to get 5 minutes? Come on down here. Come on, let's see what you got. Like in Game 7, like he's literally playing everybody. So that definitely wasn't the case here.
It was
look, listen, if you're going to give anyone a shot,
so
give Isaiah Joe some run.
So how about this?
Put shakedown. Like that's not working.
Did Danny Green not playing affect this? Do you think?
Good point. Yes, I do.
Or that wouldn't have made a difference.
I definitely do.
They still would have lost.
I definitely do.
Because Ben still would have did the same things, really.
Yeah, but you missed. But Danny Green, I think for them, like listen, I know Danny Green at times be frustrating too.
Yes.
But I feel like he for some reason for this team was a calming influence on the floor. I think also he's another defender that helps because like what happened in Game 7, you didn't lose to Trey Young, you lost to Ian Gallagher,
which is
like you literally lost to a guy,
which is so frustrating. And I see both sides of it, but it's so frustrating as a Philly fan that you shut Trey down. Trey wasn't even shooting.
Right, but Kevin Huerter was the guy that killed you.
But what do you tell?
Young was out there crushing them.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you tell your team as the Hawks coach? Look, Trey's not playing well. I need y'all to step up.
Right.
Somebody got to step.
Right.
But
instead of Seth Curry guard Kevin Huerter, Danny Green's on.
Right, but there's the thing too. People are blaming Curry. Yeah, he shot okay, but he was getting torched. It's a mismatch.
Right.
You want mismatches.
Right.
How come we don't have that mismatch? Where's our mismatch on the team? Like, there's things that you can do, and the Hawks did it well. Like, Doc just got out-coached, plain and simple. He had his team hyped and ready to play. And like they always say, when you're down 26, you come back and win the game, you could beat this team, period, end of story. You could beat them any way, anywhere. And that's how it goes down. And that's what the Hawks did. They saw that we could beat this team, man. These guys can't beat.
Well, yeah, because the Sixers gave them confidence.
Right.
Like that. This was a beaten down. So even after Game 1, right? You get down 26, but the wheels fall off, and the Sixers a minute ago you're down 2, and you saw the panic in the face and the relief after they escaped that game. You beat them Game 2. You beat the brakes off of them Game 3. You're up 18 Game 4. And even though they came back and won that game, it still wasn't. They still weren't at a point where they were like, we can beat this team a couple more times. We can do that. I don't think they thought that about them going into Game 5. You come out in Game 5 and you're absolutely destroying this team. They know at that point, okay, they're better than us. It was a good run. It was a good series. Okay.
Them struggling with this team, I knew they were not going to beat the Hawks. I want them to beat them. I knew they were going to beat them.
But that's where you gave them. Game 5 is when everything just shifted. Everything, the momentum went completely the other way. You win Game 5, the series is over. It's over. You go. You're done. You're done in Game 6. It's over. When they came back and won that game,
keep that lead would have been a huge demoralizing loss.
right? You come back, and you beat that team. You go to Game 6, and even though you lose in Game 6, you go into Game 7 saying, you know what? They're not taking this serious enough. We shouldn't even. If I'm Nate McMillan, I go locker room like, yo, we shouldn't even be here. We shouldn't even be here right now. We should have been out of this 2-3 games ago. They're not taking you seriously. So you know what? You go to Philly and you take their hearts. You ruin their season. Because at the end of the day, that's what this really is. You're going to ruin their season. They're the number one seed. They were picked to go to the NBA Finals. They were picked to be a shoo-in for Eastern Conference Finals. Everyone's been talking about the Bucks, Sixers, and Nets. We go into Philly and we ruin their lives.
And it was set up for
and their legacy.
This was almost like the Eagles year when they won the Super Bowl. You got the Nets with players that are hurt left and right. They're not like it's set up for you to win this championship, and all you have to do is follow through by everybody stepping up and playing the way they're supposed to be playing. And when that doesn't happen, you fall into the situation you fall into. You know what I mean? Like this, the road was paved for the Sixers to roll all the way to a championship. And even with Embiid hurt, doesn't even look like he's hurt out there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the killer. Embiid was a clown since he got to Philly. He finally gets serious and becomes the Embiid that we want him to be.
Yeah.
And now we don't have Ben stepping up to be the Ben we want him to be. It's heartbreaking to see that. Heartbreaking.
Hey, Twitty, we know you got to get going in a second, but one more thing before you get out of here. So going in the off season right now, what do you think is the biggest adjustment this team needs to make to even have a shot to bring this back next winter?
Well, I will say, you hate to say it because I mean, I think he made a huge difference in this team, but we gotta wonder is Glenn just not able to get through the second round? You know,
second round Glenn.
The market looks like. I don't know what the market looks like, or if you're going to have a better option, but you really got to be worried about that. Also, I think one thing I really want to see going into next year, knowing that we don't really have a great outlet to upgrade Ben at the point position, I'd like to see a focus on development for Tease and Maxey. You know, I think they could be huge pieces of the team, giving some more minutes and, a solid amount of time in the gym in the offseason.
I'll leave you with this. Tyrese Maxey's his last interview, he said that he wanted to get into the gym Friday, start working on his game for next year. They told him no, but he said, we'll see who wins that argument.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of heart and hustle, I think Tyrese.
He has it. The kid has it. You can tell his work ethic. You can tell his head. He's going to be special. I hope because
people wanted to put him in trades at the deadline, and I'm like, I'm intrigued by this kid.
That's where I was just going to go. I hope we don't have to lose him because we're so thirsty to get rid of Ben Simmons. All right, man. We'll let you go.
So if that turns into game, do you let it go?
Man, I can't. You know what? I can't even.
Hard question, man.
It's a very difficult question because now I'm having the fantasies of Dame and Joe in the ball screen game, and that's gonna be nasty. Yeah, that would not be fair. But yeah, I mean, it's something I'm willing to listen to, but I don't know. But listen, man, we appreciate you jumping on, and we'll talk to you down the line.
You got it. Take it easy, guys.
All right, man. Twitty from Twitty and the Brand Pod.
We got some calls. You want to run the phones?
Yeah, man. Who's on the line? Who we got now?
We got my guy Alan calling in. I'm sure he's got a bunch of Sixers things to talk about and try to talk us off the bridge. Alan, you're on the line. What's up, my friend?
Yo, guys. That was a great call with Twitty. I was down about the Sixers, and then, you know what, the next morning I woke up, and I kind of felt better about everything, which I know is different for the Sixers nation. What do you guys think?
Well, I feel better just hearing your voice right away. You have a very smooth jazz voice. I feel like I'm on WDAS right now. Smooth jazz with Alan.
Well,
listen.
Check out first time, long time. You get a ton of that.
Okay.
Get a ton of voice on there.
Listen, I'll be honest. I'm still thoroughly disappointed. You know, I say it all the time. Anger is secondary emotion, and anger becomes primary because it's the one you can control. So initially, I was really angry, but honestly, the biggest thing I feel is disappointment. I am thoroughly disappointed in how this all turned out, and especially all the investment into this team, the investment of this year, and all the work we did to get that number 1 seed, and then to have this thing taken away from us by a team that was not supposed to be taken away from us from. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of Philadelphia is with the the Sixers, because like you said, they worked so hard to get that 1 seed. I remember the end of the season, they were like the Nets going to they were about to catch the Sixers kept winning. The only thing that makes me feel good, and I know everyone to get rid of Ben Simmons, and I'm gonna get Ben Simmons 1 more year. And I know that's crazy. I know a lot of Philadelphia hate him, and burn him in jerseys and all that. I'm giving him 1 more year because I feel in previous seasons, when the Sixers lost in the playoffs the first year versus Celtics, it was like they were kind of young. Then the next year, it was the greatest shot ever, like Kawhi Leonard. And last year, you could blame Al Horford and Brett Brown and whoever you want. This year, the blame falls on Ben Simmons. Like Ben Simmons, if he would have did his regular season average, Sixers would have swept that series.
Yeah.
So it's all on him. There's no other excuses. If he played, I'm not a Tobias fan, so I wish Tobias would have a moment. Get into that later. But it all falls on Simmons. So if he comes back next year and plays the same way, I feel like his career value is probably going to be the same this year and next year, no matter what, unless he raises his game. So if he comes back, then the Sixers are going to be great. Like, nothing's going to stop this team. The Sixers stopped themselves. This whole series, they stopped themselves with the turnovers. It wasn't Atlanta doing, whatever, with the hack of Ben Simmons. It wasn't that. It was the Sixers' inability to execute. That's what shut down the Sixers this year. Atlanta's not more talented than that. They were up by 26 in one game, 18 in the other.
4 out of 7 games, double-digit leads.
Really close. Yeah, not being able to close, which happens a lot in Philadelphia.
So here's the deal, Alan.
I really think that.
Here's the deal.
Talk to me. I'm here.
I got an idea. Okay, I was sitting listening to you, and first of all, you have a very soothing calm voice. I want to watch a show on PBS with you with a nice sweater, painting a picture. Like you give me Bob Ross vibes. I really feel comforted by you. Yeah, I really feel comforted by you. But listen, here's the deal. Here, I got an idea. Okay, I'm gonna run this by everybody over here. I want to start a hashtag. Pray for Ben. Hashtag pray for Ben. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do.
No, hold on.
Let me lay this out.
If we're gonna do this, you actually have to become Marcus between them. Okay.
Okay.
If we're gonna actually do this, you actually have to host.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Listen.
Good call, Jeff.
Hashtag.
Have you heard his voicemail recently on his phone? Have you guys listened to his voicemail?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Call him sometime. If he doesn't pick up, hey, it's 2019. Please don't leave a message.
All right. I haven't gotten around to getting it up current again. Okay. Here's my idea. Hashtag pray for Ben. I think we all need to get Ben candles. We need to light them at least once a day. And whatever God you pray to, you pray for Ben. You pray for his health. You pray for his shooting arm. You pray for his mental psyche. You pray for his free throws. You know what I'm even going to do? I got a better idea. I'm going to actually write a prayer that we're all going to recite each day for Ben Simmons. You guys with me?
I mean, I'm with you, but I don't like where it's going.
I think we need to surround Ben with positivity and prayer.
For what?
Because at the end of the day, his success is our success. We need him to be successful.
Listen,
he's not at the point now where I will do anything.
He has enough yes men that hang around him. Okay?
I'm not being yes man. I know he needs to work on things,
Listen,
but I am rooting for as upset, like I said, I used the analogy before. It's like your kids. Will my kids be successful? They drive me crazy sometimes. However, I ultimately root for their success. I want them to be successful.
And we always got that one kid that just don't live up to their
right.
And
right.
What it is.
You're always going to have your Bud Bundy.
And this is one of them.
Yes. And maybe Ben's our Bud Bundy. But you know what? Say it again.
At this point, what else are you going to get from Ben Simmons? People are saying C.J. McCollum. Is C.J. McCollum a difference from Sixers? Do we really believe that?
No, I don't think he's good enough for what they like. C.J. McCollum is really Damian Lillard light. He's a diet Damian Lillard.
Right.
So
that's another 5 handers.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're getting.
Well, it goes one of two ways. It goes that way.
We have 5 handers and a
right.
Or it goes that way, or it goes another way where there's somebody out there who thinks they can make him a better player and want to take that chance.
Yeah, but
that doesn't.
You're right.
But that doesn't increase his value. Now.
Exactly.
To that person, it does.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Daryl Morey knows it. Like, if you know that you're getting a good deal, are you going to go in there and offer above asking price?
Of course not.
So then why would another GM do that for
right?
Simmons?
And that's basically what you're
getting. There are things out there than that.
I'm not.
I mean, that's true.
So listen,
that's true. You have seen dumber things than that.
Hold on, guys.
It's really this simple. I'm not saying exactly. That's why I don't want. I'm not saying you can't trade Ben Simmons. I know you can trade him. Mm-hmm. You can get something for him. I don't just want something for him. I want equal return on my investment.
But do you really? Would you rather have that?
Somebody, why would you want to take a loss on your investment?
No, I'm saying this though. Would you rather get somebody that's equal to Ben but shoots?
Who?
But it doesn't matter. Whoever it is doesn't matter. They'll shoot more than Ben. They'll be more offensively minded than Ben. If they give you 10, 15 points a game, it's better than what Ben's giving you. Can you live through another year of Ben doing the same thing he did?
No.
Exactly.
No.
So why wouldn't you
I will burn the Wells Fargo Center down.
Why wouldn't you get rid of him, trade him for whatever you can get, even if it's equal value, but it's equal value that shoots? That's the difference.
Alan, you okay?
You on the run right now?
You right?
Yeah, I'm on my
Pull over, my guy. It's not worth it.
I'm catching up on these sports tapes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but seriously, we gotta. I don't know what you could get for Ben. Like, if you look at the market and you look at teams and his contract, you're not going to get anything for him. Maybe Jim McCollum, maybe Ingram or Alonzo? Like, what? Like, what could you get for Ben Simmons, and where could you place him at?
Yeah,
any value from him?
It's a great point because Ben just signed that max contract. He said, "Hey, Sixers, maybe I got your money." What's that?
He's getting paid more than Embiid.
Yeah.
Yo, I think Joe literally. I look at that going back to when that dunk, when he walked back towards Joe. I keep looking at that clip. I was like, "Oh, Ben, you shouldn't have walked that way. You should have walked." Because I thought Joe had slapped him something. Joe said, "Listen, I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say. I'm just gonna say it. It's his fault. He did it." Like, he didn't say his name, but we all knew what he was talking about. And like, Joe really hasn't said a lot about Ben Simmons over the years, and to the point where going into this year, it was like, do they even like each other? Like, do they have any kind of chemistry at all? And then you start to hear stories of, oh, they're working on chemistry behind the scenes, they're hanging out, all this stuff, and it looked really good during the season. But when you it's when you have a partnership with someone, on a team, and you're in the trenches with this person, and you know this person is not riding the way you need him to ride, and he's letting you down. Like, we're at war right now, and they're throwing grenades, and you're running the opposite direction, and you're not in it with me. I think that's where Embiid's at right now. Is I don't know if this guy's in it with me.
Yeah, I agree. Just a quick question for the gang. When are we going to get a Tobias?
J. Cole.
You already had it.
So
when? What, the Lakers game?
Yep, you had it. It was a long time ago, but you had it.
So
that was it? That's his contract?
It seems to me you're really down on Toby. Like, so explain to me your feelings of Toby.
Here, let me explain. So you have Embiid. He's the number one option. Your point guard doesn't shoot but can create offense. So who's your next option? Tobias should be able to take
We should do
over
a break
games, take
before
over
him, though.
moments.
Yeah,
But
which
I
is on
feel
the line.
like when the Sixers are doing well, Tobias is hitting everything. When the Sixers are slumping, and like Tobias really brought them out of anything, any game that you can remember, any moment you can remember.
Yes, yeah.
Tobias Harris to me wins.
All right,
Well,
now,
in
Alan,
the
hold
play.
on, Alan. Great, this has really hurt my feelings because I only have one guy's jersey, okay? And that's who I have. So you really,
I know you got it. I thought it was
you're really killing me here by burying my guy.
I mean,
I'm sorry, but Tobias to me is the Jordan Matthews.
not Jordan Matthews. Don't do that to him. He ain't Jordan Matthews now.
He's the Jordan Matthews.
Oh, man.
When everything's going well, he's making catches from Sam Bradford. When nothing's hitting the fan, when things are hitting the fan, where's he at?
You know what though?
Where's he at, man?
I'll-
I need a 40-point from Tobias.
I'll say this about him is that I know he didn't play great in Game 7. He ends up with 24 on I think something like 8 of 20 shooting or something like that. I know he didn't play great, but I can respect him a lot more because at least he was willing to take the shots. At least he was willing to take the shots. And I think that itself is a big deal. Like Toby listen, he missed a lot of what I would call easy shots, and I'm going to say based on nerves. But at least he was willing to take the shots.
See, I don't beat him up as bad for Game 7. 24 points, but yeah, the 8 for 24, 20 for shooting.
Something like that, yeah.
But he's missing shots. It's different when you're missing shots. He was
Yeah.
going to the hole. He had good looks. He's taking good shots. The ball's rolling around the rim and coming out. I can't fault a guy for that as much because he's not taking bad shots. He was taking good shots. The ball's just not dropping. We've all been in that situation where your shot's not falling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other games, yes. He's a no-show. The guy just doesn't. And you're right. He should be your next option. If it's not going to be Embiid or Simmons, it's him. He's the next option, and he didn't live up to that.
And he should be taking it, like you said, he's going to hole and everything. I feel like he had a matchup. I know the last caller was talking about matchup. And I feel like Simmons definitely had good matchups if he could make his free throws. But I also feel like Tobias, like John Collins, like who are we talking about? Like we were talking about excellent defenders on Atlanta. It was just the Sixers not executing. So hopefully next year, if he takes a step up,
then
I know
Prince,
he's been
then
staying
J.
for
Cole.
3 years. But him and Simmons, I feel like if Simmons stays, but Tobias definitely has to take a step up.
But what step can he take? What to me, Tobias took the step up this year.
I think an active scorer, an active and.
I mean, he averaged 20 points.
He
I mean,
took
like,
the-
he
took the
I
step
think
up
that
this
he
year.
capped out. Now, but here's the thing is I think you're basing what you need his production to be off of his contract. And you can't do that because he'll never live up to that contract.
I don't know. I want the players to make as much money as they can. But I just believe that if Embiid's scoring here, Simmons isn't scoring, our next option is Curry. It was basically Embiid and Curry for the series. The last couple games was Embiid and Curry.
Right.
Like Tobias can score. And he did, he was 8-20. But just a little bit more consistent from Tobias. Like, he can become a 25 more game scorer.
No question, he had a bad series, and he definitely had a rough 4 and 5. Overall, though, when it comes to him, he's not a main concern for me because I believe if you bolster your top part of your team, then what you get from him is on par with where he's supposed to be. Like Tobias Harris needs to be the 3rd to 4th option on a championship team. He can't be a guy you're relying on to get buckets in crunch time.
Jesus.
He just can't be that guy.
That's so sad you just said that.
It's the truth.
Just because on this team, if he's going to be a 3rd or 4th, everybody on this team right now is a 3rd or 4th.
That's
or
the problem.
Below. It's
That's
only
the problem.
Embiid.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the
It's
problem.
just Embiid.
That's the issue.
And guess what? This is why this team is not going to do anything no time soon. So get used to this feeling.
All right.
I'm just
Alan,
over with you.
we're going to let you go. We appreciate you jumping on with us. Looking forward to your art show on PBS. Let us know when that comes out.
I'll send you the link. All right, gang, have a good one.
You too, man.
Talk to you.
All right, so listen, we're going to take a break because my mouth is tired. And when we come back on the other side,
Got some more phones.
we got some more phone calls to get to you. And my best friend's on the line.
I see him.
My best friend's there, J. Cole. Brown in the morning, Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, or shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMY for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years. Hits.
Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between. See, it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Bram. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatecan fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time. Welcome back, Brown in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery, coming to you live from the Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne.
I was stuffing my face during the break.
Yeah, look, me too. You see, I don't even have a plate from me anymore.
Plate?
Yep.
Fair enough.
On the line, as we keep the phones going, on the line right now.
Got our guy on.
We got Penn share some time for us.
Mm-hmm.
Fills in occasionally. Real time with Prince Blue. We got Prince on the line. What's up, man?
What is going on? First of all, don't ever go into big trouble without taking a break in my mouth.
Good job calling out on that, Prince.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So we're talking a lot of Sixers. Hey, man, you know, surviving, bro. So, actually, let me be honest about my emotions. I'm miserable. I'm trying to put on a brave face. We're in this beautiful establishment, surrounded by all these amazing food and snacks. Outside is 80 degrees and sunny, but inside my heart is 53 and rainy.
So yesterday?
Yeah. This was a gut punch. It really was. Watching this team all year, defending this team all year, and defending Ben Simmons all year. And I said earlier that I feel like there is a loud minority that just hates Ben Simmons. But I feel like most of us are fair, and we've accepted his flaws, want to improve those flaws, but we've always rooted for him. And now we're left with that image of him turning down a wide open dunk. We're left with no attempts in the fourth quarter at game 3. We're left with 30% from the foul line. We're left with all of that to deal with. And now here we are where we should be getting ready for game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final at the Wells Fargo Center against the Bucks. We're sitting here with nothing and a really dim future. So I want you to tell me, what are you feeling?
Ben Simmons is the beautiful woman that's so incredibly beautiful, but she's so bad to you, and your friends know why you're with her, but they also know why she's not good for you. So you're like stuck. You're like, I can explain to you why I'm keeping her around, but I also understand why y'all want me to leave her alone. That's been finished. You see him. He's 6'10". He can handle the ball. He's untapped potential. But he's also dragging down you, the family. You hate to have him at function. He's bringing everybody down. The whole team is like, dude.
Babe, can we just go?
We can't play 4-on-5 anymore. See? Right.
Babe, can we only be here for like a half an hour? You got that one.
Yeah.
Stank face in the club.
He's nutty you. He's like, is your mom gonna be there? Like, she's gonna cook again. Like, is she gonna talk about my hair again? Like, that's what
Babe, did you pack my organic applesauce?
Yeah, and the family is getting louder, and you start to listen to them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe I do need to cut it.
Yeah.
Maybe I do need to look at. Maybe I do need to take you up on that offer, that blind date. That's what Vincent is doing.
The blind date is to me the trade, and I went through all my emotions, and anger led the way. But now I stripped that away, and now I'm just disappointed. But now I can see that I look at the trade market for him. I don't want to just give him away. And that's kind of what the Sixers are faced with in the offseason. Because, I said this earlier, all GMs and coaches have cable television or some sort of streaming service. They all watch Game 7. They've seen the same things we did this series and saw how he melted again for his 3rd straight postseason. So they've all seen this stuff. So you're going to turn around and say, hey, what do you guys think about Ben Simmons? And they're going to say to you, listen, we'll take him, but we're not giving anything of value. Like you're not going to get a piece back that would directly help this team win a championship. So I'm at the point now where I feel like the best move for them is still, even despite all this, to hang on to him and hope he just improves. Hope this was the wake-up call that he needed.
The devil you know.
Yeah.
Be with the devil you know.
Yep.
That's why I'm to the point where I think Vincent is going to be here. And if I'm Tobias Harris, I'm with Doc Rivers. I'm like, I've been a sidekick before. I won't pay the full lease on my condo or wherever I live, because I heard your conversation about Tobias Harris. He infuriates me to no end. And fair or unfair, that contract, dude, you can't make money against John Collins, against Uwe or No Way, whatever his name was.
You got it right.
Those bunnies.
Good job by you. Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah, no,
I'm done with it. It's just an epic failure. And then he wants to prance around, I'm an all-star. Dude, your all-star gets you 40 burgers, 50 burgers.
Yeah.
45 burgers. Your all-star bid can't be an occasional 35 burger here and there.
Right.
I'm sick of it. I'm so done with it. I'm telling you, Marcus James, I can't wait anymore. Like, the process is so dead. I need a result. Anybody besides Embiid and Maxey, everybody else is kick rock. I'm done with it. I'm done.
So we
I
got
can't do it anymore.
to run in a second. But real quick, I'm gonna run something by you, okay? Because you can help me out with this. Listen, I think we all have come to the conclusion that we kind of need Ben because, listen, we can't get anything for him. So here's the deal, Prince. This summer, we're going to start the hashtag Pray for Ben. We're all going to go out. We're getting Ben Simmons candles. We're going to light them. I'm going to write a special prayer, and we're going to recite this prayer every night to get some positive juju around Ben Simmons. What do you think? Hashtag Pray for Ben.
Sure. The downside to it.
The shortest answer you'll ever get from Prince.
Whatever. Do anime Bullock. Let's do it.
Let's do it all. Catch him real time on Wednesday nights at Real Prince Blue. Appreciate you jumping on, man.
Thank you, guys. Good job. Love it.
So
let's just keep this party rolling.
who got your best friend on the line?
My best friend.
My
best friend's on the line. Haven't talked to him in weeks. I missed him. Shed a tear or two. My guy Jay Cole's here. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
How's it going?
I'm sorry, I was busy moderating the Nick Foles forum. You guys said something about basketball?
We're going to shift gears here now because I need a break anyway from Sixers talk. And I've been dying.
I want you to think of Ben Simmons in a Helmets Mayonnaise jersey, and it will help you until the new season starts.
Yeah, I may have to.
That guy's repping helmet.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I watched, like you watched, the biographies, all the WWE biographies, right? You watch all of them?
Yeah.
So you know I'm a Shawn Michaels guy, right? You know that's my guy.
Yeah.
However,
Absolutely.
the one I was looking forward to the most was Bret Hart's. The reason why is because I believe Bret Hart is one of the greatest storytellers of all time. And not just that, I also believe with Bret, his legacy with his family is just so deep and so much history there. I knew his would be the best biography. That was my favorite one of all of them.
Everything Bret Hart does after his career, he did some lectures, he did some blogging, he's done this and that. Everything the guy's done, and I kind of put it this way, for wrestling fans, maybe you want to step away for a second, that if you don't understand what I mean by kayfabe, go get a drink of water and come on back. For the people that understand the kayfabe, I want you to keep in mind how popular Bret Hart has remained.
Mm-hmm.
20 years after he wrestled, essentially a large chunk of his legacy is tied to a promotion that buried him.
Yeah.
Everybody, Triple H, he was not part of their crew, he was not part of their clique. They've talked in the past about how they were trying to put together their group. They wanted Bret Hart to be part of it. Bret was sort of the company guy. We kind of went from back to front, and the next thing you know, the clique are the company guys, and Bret Hart is being told, I don't have money to pay your contract,
Right.
I don't have this, I don't have that. This guy remains popular with WWE fans, with wrestling fans, and they've done everything they can do. I mean, let's be honest. This is the guy that popped Vince right in the mouth. He gave Vince what he had coming.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, nobody's ever done that. Like, ever.
So I'm going to lay something out for you right now. I want you to just react to it. So this is something I've been kind of saying now for at least, I don't know, three to 5 years. I can make an argument that Bret Hart's 1997 is maybe the most influential, impactful year in the history of wrestling. Let me lay out that scenario for you. So he starts off, he turns heel, he joins the Hart Foundation with his family. Has basically an angle where he's a face in America and a heel in America and a face everywhere else, which is something we had never really seen before to that degree. And you look at guys like John Cena today and Roman Reigns, that kind of energy has kind of helped them not have to fully turn heel and keep making the money they want with all the merchandise, all that stuff. So you have that aspect of that being revolutionary. Then the idea that he essentially made Stone Cold Steve Austin who's a top 2 draw in the history of the business. And a lot of the things that created Austin was from Bret Hart. Then he also has
Austin talks about that.
Right.
On his podcast, Austin talks about that.
Right.
He's like, if Bret wasn't willing to do business the way he was willing to do it,
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know if you get the Stone Cold Steve Austin you do.
You don't. I'm gonna say you don't. And Austin is a cornerstone of the Attitude Era. Then the other cornerstone of the Attitude Era is DX. He has a hand in helping create them also with that feud there. And then the big one for me, the apex of this, is the Screwjob created maybe the greatest heel character in the history of wrestling in Mr. McMahon. So you look at everything I just laid out, Bret Hart has a major hand in all of that. And what do you get out of that? You get the most successful era of WWE out of all of that. So that's why I say Bret Hart's 97 could be the most influential, impactful year in the history of wrestling.
If you've ever listened to, I'll tell you right now, who kind of agrees with you to a certain extent, is Chris Jericho. If you've ever listened to Talkies Jericho, it was a clip show, and they were talking about turning points in wrestling. And Jericho talked about the moment that Bret Hart, a guy who protected the business with his life, along with The Undertaker, decides enough of this. It's a Raw. It's not any big deal or whatever. It's a deal where he's coming out. Michaels comes out. Triple H comes out. They're sort of, dueling promos. At one point, Bret Hart goes off script, grabs the microphone and says, you know what? I make more money than all 3 of you guys put together. So if you want to shoot, let's shoot. They immediately went to a commercial. But everybody in the locker room, according to Jericho, there was like dead silence.
Wow.
Like there was dead silence. Jericho talked about talking to guys in that locker room, including The Undertaker. And people who were in the locker room at that moment were just like, what did you just say? Was the camera live? And when they went to commercial, even Triple H was like, what are we doing here? And Bret Hart had just had enough.
Right.
And that was at the beginning of 97, and you kind of go through that whole year. Everything you said, Jericho has mentioned, and I'll tell you who else mentioned this in the podcast, was, I can't remember his real name, The Godfather.
Okay. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yep.
He mentioned that. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry. But he mentioned that. He's like being in the back, and he's, the guy is like a legendary stoner. And he said, I'm in the back, I've already wrestled, I'm already getting my blades on. And all of a sudden I hear people in the back saying, Bret just broke kayfabe. And I'm like, what? No, he didn't. I'm not that high. But he did. They saw it on the monitor. He's like, I make more money than all 3 of these guys put together. So do I really care? And that was sort of the beginning of everything, Maurice, that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
that started this slide where eventually, you get the screw job and you get this sort of kayfabe dies. Kayfabe had been dying a slow death at the birth of the internet, right? We had forums, we had groups where people were kind of like, there's somebody's little information or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when you get Montreal, it's clearly obvious that there's no going back. Even that it's still real to me, Dan, this guy has to throw in the towel.
Right.
Because, you know what I mean? And I remember listening to an interview with Dusty Rhodes, and he talked about mistakes that the promoters made. And he said he thought the single, and he said, he wasn't hiding. He said it to Vince's face. He said the single biggest mistake Vince McMahon made was in Montreal. There was a million other better ways to do business than that. And for people who said, oh, that was all the work, the screw job, Bret was in on it, Dusty Rhodes was like, I'm telling you he's not.
Right.
I'm just flat out telling you he's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Bret Hart has said multiple occasions, he's like, no. He's like, at this point in my life, I would just tell you if it was a work. He said, what's his name? Dave Hebner was on the podcast. And he was basically told straight out, everybody knew that Jerry Briscoe was kind of still like a bad man, even in his 50s.
Mm-hmm.
He grabbed Hebner.
Mhm.
Before he went out to the ring, he's like, do the right thing or I'm going to hurt you and your family. He said it right out. And Briscoe admitted it years later. He's like, Vince asked me to do it, so I did it.
Right.
You know, Briscoe was still a shooter. That guy was hurting people in his 50s.
Right.
In the back. So you get Hebner, who, let's be honest, he's a company guy, he's a rep, you know. So he does what he's told. And I think that changes the business so fundamentally that you have Vince be the greatest heel in the history of the business for shoot and kiss it.
Which was an accident because no one, you know, the interview we are like, you know, Brett screwed Brett interview. That's kind of where the reaction to that is what people gravitated towards to make that Mr. McMahon character, because he thought, it's funny, I think he thought he would come out looking like a good guy out of that, but it went the other way. And real quick, with Brett also, you can give credit for that year. People think about, you know, Austin give McMahon the stunner at the Madison Square Garden show in September of '97, but the first person to put his hands on Vince was Brett. When Brett pushed him at the cage, and when Brett and him got an altercation in Canada, they got a little fight on camera. Like, that was the first person to really put his hands on Vince like that. You're like, whoa, we've never seen this before.
Well, smart fans knew he was the promoter's son, and then he was the promoter. People that we book the shows, he's an announcer. When you see him in the ring physically interacting with people, that changed wrestling in a way that, yeah, sure, in other territories you've had promoters and wrestlers, but you didn't have that in WWE. You had, at the time, WWF, you had 45% of the country who still thought, in their minds at least, Vince is an announcer. Yeah, sure, maybe he's got the pencil, he's booking, whatever. But when you see Brett shove him, you're like, wait a minute, what? I thought he ran this. What's going on?
Right.
And that put it into a gear in a direction where, and again, you're 100% right. Bret Hart does not get credit he deserves for that.
Yeah.
Because I think Bret Hart is one of these characters like Nick Bockwinkel. The more time away we get from his prime, the more people are going to respect him.
Mm-hmm.
You people at the time where Nick Bockwinkel was a pain in the ass, he didn't want to do business, blah, blah, blah. Now people look at Bockwinkel's work through WWE Network and YouTube and all this other stuff, and they're like, why haven't I heard this guy before? It's amazing. Well, you know, you see what he is. The same with Larry Zbyszko. People are like, I thought he was a clown, he said some off-color stuff on WCW, blah, blah, blah. And then they see some of the guys' matches, and they're like, you know, this is a guy that was trained in both lift and wrestle by Bruno Sammartino. And, you know, and you don't realize that Zbyszko essentially changes how people wrestle. You look at how people work matches beforehand, and then you see Zbyszko come in with a very realistic style. And then you see everybody else use a realistic style. Pedro Morales, Tito Santana. You didn't see that before. Everybody caught these rehearsed spots, and, you know, other territories people work stiff. Don't get me wrong. Stan Hansen was decapitating people in Japan. But in the WWF, we just didn't have that. You know, we had garbage man characters, and
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And the Repo Man, and guys who were ridiculous out there talking.
The Repo Man. Don't forget about the Goon.
The Goon, this is exactly what Duke the dumpster throws.
Duke Dumpster Drosy.
These were guys that they put money on.
Yeah.
They bought from other promotions, gave that contracts, and put out there on television, Saturday morning, Monday night, whatever. And, you know, it didn't fly.
Right.
And you had guys, again, like, you know, I saw a great interview with Hannibal TV about Zbyszko. And Zbyszko's not particularly bitter. He's living a great retirement in Florida, nice condo, nice car, whatever, plenty of money. But he's like, we showed people right before the bulk of Hulkamania, how to work matches for a modern audience that was smarter than the audience before. Me, Sheik, Don Morocco, and one by one, all those guys got picked out of the roster and shot. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Sergeant Slaughter was told, quit working stiff. Just step through the matches and ask
Plug and play.
Do the bump style.
Plug and play.
And move on with it. And these were guys that were like, look, the audience knows what's going on. They want to be entertained. Vince single-handedly, talk about Vince being the greatest heel of all time, Vince single-handedly retarded the growth of the industry style by 20 years. You look at what was being done in Japan and in other promotions, and you look at what WWE was doing.
Right.
They were dressing up, and they were dressing up a pig. And other promotions were doing these incredible matches in Canada, Japan, and Mexico. So yeah, I would say 1997 in and of itself is a pivotal year, and for sure, the person at the point of the pivot is Bret Hart. I don't think. I guess Vince to a certain extent too, to be fair. I think sometimes Vince gets too much credit, and sometimes he doesn't get enough credit, depending on what we're talking about.
I would agree with that. So this has been a great break from the misery that we're all feeling about the Sixers. So we appreciate that escape.
Let me just say this out real quick about the Sixers. Sometimes you get super excited for a pay-per-view, and the heel goes over.
Yeah.
Atlanta was booked to go over. It's not that serious.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I wish it could be that simple.
I know, right?
So, yeah.
I like to my brother-in-law, and I said, well, you know what? Once you factor FanDuel into it, well, now money's on the table, so you can't. That doesn't work anymore.
So here's what I'm asking. Everyone right now is, if you're paying attention to this team and you're a basketball fan, you're in this area, you're not happy at all. You're not happy with what happened. But you got to eat, right?
I don't know how you could be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you got to eat though, right? So, what is a go-to meal when you are sad? What is a sad meal that you want to eat, and it's going to make you happy, but you can still stay in that place of sadness? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, hey, I'm hungry, but I'm sad.
I would say. I won't say comfort food is the go-to, because comfort food is that stuff you eat at Christmas time and everything's holly jolly.
Right.
If you're a sports fan, and particularly a basketball fan, there's no holly or jolly found in Philadelphia. It's just not there. What I would suggest people do, looking for something to, I would say, stray away from arena food. Grill something in your backyard, your property. Get together, shoot down from the shore. Good buddy of mine who lives in Philadelphia, he's down in Wildwood, Sam's Pizza on the boardwalk today. Literally trying to get as far from the city as he can in a day trip, right?
Yeah.
Culturally, socially, he's down the boardwalk, it's slices, it's a lime Ricky, he's soaking in Wildwood, he won't go back till tonight, and he's trying to use that to, let's be honest, it's a bitter pill to swallow, right? You've been talking about it all day.
Yeah.
People are disgusted, this, that, trade him, keep him, this, that. I would say for sure, for people in the Philly area, shoot down to the shore. Beautiful day today, beautiful day tomorrow. Get something, let's be honest, I know people are saying Philly's now a very pizza town. Some say yes, some say no. I think some pizza places in Philly are amazing. I still think there's places just kind of going by, they're like on fumes. You know what I mean? 30 years ago, I was great, so I'm still here. But I would suggest to somebody, shoot down the shore, grab one of those things you can always get at the shore, take the day. If you can find a place, crash overnight, you know what I mean? Enjoy that nice, breakfast sandwich on the boardwalk. There's a reason that people have been going down the shore for 100 and something years in our area.
Yeah.
I know it sounds a little bit metaphysical, but let's be honest, sports in Philly is a visceral thing. People feel it down in their DNA. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
It doesn't matter if it's Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers. It hurts people. Even like Nova, they lose and people are, damaged and bummed by it. I suggest that people, if you have to, either shoot up to the Poconos if you're not a shore person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shoot up to the Poconos, grab a little spot by the lake, sit down. You know what I mean? Maybe grab a simple food that you can enjoy up there. Let's be honest, if you live in Philly, you're having a ton of pizza, so a ton of sports houses, and you're probably having a ton of hope.
Yeah.
Right? Grab something that you would not normally have to put you, and I don't want to sound like a pop psychologist here because that's not me at all. But if you're looking to kind of improve your mood. You change your environment, but you also change what you eat. I'm certainly not saying eat healthy, but by the same token, you know what I mean? If you're a person, let's say you don't get breakfast every day.
Yeah.
You got a breakfast bar and you're out the door. Treat yourself to a nice breakfast today or tomorrow.
Yeah. We deserve it.
You know what I mean? One thing that Philadelphia is not great for, not anymore, are hot dogs. I understand people are opening up here and there, and I'm not trying to hammer them, but compared to New Jersey, compared down to Baltimore, up in North Jersey, New York, Philly isn't much for hot dogs. However, when you start heading out to the Poconos, you start heading in that direction where the Pennsylvania Dutch are. And those people make hot dogs like some of the best Beach and Watson's out there, and then even some of the older brands are out there. Grab a hot dog, sit by the lake, maybe read a book or just don't do anything. Switch your brain off and shut your phone off. Because let's be honest, the entire industry is going to be built around if the Sixers win or if the Sixers lose. If whoever, you know what I mean? It's an entire cottage industry which has now become like an online economy. Don't put your phone down. You know what I mean? Just be in the moment a little bit. And I find you sit down, hot dog, birch beer, shut the phone off for a little while. Yeah, it's not going to change things. When you get in the car and head home, it's still going to suck. At least you give yourself a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
let's be honest. How long is this going to be sitting for?
Probably till they start again. 6 months. I'm going to be sad for 6 months. Yeah.
Guys will start reporting training camp, and then we'll start getting the optimism, just like with any sport. It's a new year. But that's months away.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're going to have that. And the other thing I tell people is this, and I am absolutely not trying to bag anybody's listening audience, but if you're one of those people that listen to sports every single day, think about it. You don't want to abandon those podcasts. You want to keep downloading them or whatever. But you're just, I see the same people on Twitter every day bashing the Phillies for 162 games. And I gotta wonder, really, is that what you want to do? You don't even enjoy the game anymore.
Right.
And I think to a certain extent, pick a podcast where, and I've said this about food too, pick a podcast that's a little bit more balanced and a little bit more connected to you. If you're an upbeat sports fan, and you're listening to The Fanatic or one of these things where it's just, bash, 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 choose your drive time, try something else. You know what I mean? I think that you have to you got to give yourself a little break. My timeline today, I'm really not on Twitter today because I feel bad. All my friends are totally bummed. And I'm like, go outside.
Words of wisdom from J. Cole. Unplug and get out of there. J. Cole, tell them where to find you.
You can find me, not today because I'm taking a break, but tomorrow. You can find me on Twitter at J_Cole, my last name. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, J. Cole. You can find me tonight on at the_EXP1. We'll be talking about wrestling, comic books, all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you right now, one of the things we'll be talking about today is, we circulated the email. There'll be no bad talk today on the show.
Yeah.
There's enough of that.
Right. All right, man. We appreciate you hopping on, and we will talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. You guys do that.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by one of the owners of Beef Jerky Outlet, talking about this amazing jerky, some amazing snacks, amazing sauces. Sounds good, fellas?
Yeah. I was stuffing my face again, boy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Went to me.
Brad and Emery in the morning. Mark Brad, Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, or shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMY for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years. Hits.
Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between. Nah,
Oh,
see, it's the
God.
opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatanian fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time. And welcome back, Bradman in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery.
Yo.
We're live from the Beef Jerky Outlet, and we had to bring in the expert.
The jerky lady.
You know, the self-dubbed jerky lady.
I am the jerky lady.
Love
They
it.
know me around town as the jerky lady from my my silly Facebook videos.
So one half of the owners, Sharon Frybron.
Frybron.
Yes, did I get it? Did I nail it? Nailed it. I was stressed out. You see the beads of sweat? I was stressed out about the pronunciation of that. Well, first of all, thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for being here.
We're having a ball. You know, your products, you don't miss. We'll put it simple. You don't miss. I mean, I haven't had anything that I haven't really thoroughly enjoyed. You can hear me snacking in my headphones, which is probably unprofessional, but I don't care because they're delicious. So first of all, how long have you guys been in this location?
We have been open since November of 2017, so
Okay.
about 3.5 years now.
Nice.
Yeah, we're in Langhorne, not far from Sesame Place, about a half mile from Sesame Place. So stop on by. We're right across from the lovely Big M that we have on the corner here. If anybody needs an additional landmark.
So I'm going to tell you about one of the things I learned from you guys that I didn't know. I had no idea that beef jerky had different textures. So like I like beef jerky a lot. But all the beef jerky I've had has been more of the chewy texture. But I love about this place, you guys have products for people who aren't necessarily into that texture. And you guys have softer textures. Because a lot of people aren't into the more chewy versions of jerky.
Exactly. A lot of people like yourself just think that there is one texture of jerky, and we try to educate our customers and see what they like. But yes, there are two textures of jerky. There's the dehydrated, more traditional, tougher, chewier texture that you're describing, and there's smoked jerky, which is a lot softer in texture. Some people prefer one over the other for one reason or another, and some people really don't care. They just want something with good flavor.
So let's play a game, okay?
Right.
Let's pretend I am walking in your store and I have never had beef jerky before. Never had it. May have heard of it, may have not heard of it, but I've never had it before. Where would you steer me?
First, I would start by educating you, just like I described now. I'm not sure if you're aware, and I would just kind of take you through the different textures and describe our different flavor zones. We've got, as you are well aware, many different flavors in here, so we try to group things together. And prior to COVID, we sampled everything. Unfortunately, we're not doing that now, but we are doing some assisted sampling at the register. So I would more than likely take you to the register and kind of just let you sample some things and see what you preferred and let it go from there.
So Jerky Lady, what is your go-to jerky?
We have many, many different flavors of jerky, some very unique flavors of jerky. We've got dill pickle jerky.
Delicious.
We've got lots of other unique flavors, but my fallback, I love our traditional teriyaki.
That is, I've had that. That is delicious.
I guess I'm just more traditional.
Yeah. Another thing that's great about this store too, besides the amazing jerky selection you have, is your sauces, your popcorns, you took me back to my child. I hadn't seen a candy peanut. I freaked out over the candy peanut. I've had a good candy peanut since I was a kid. So you have that. You have so much amazing things. Let's talk about some of your sauces.
So, that is, I guess, one of our challenges for people that are not aware of us or who have not been in the store or spoken to somebody that has been. We carry so many other things besides beef jerky. As you are well aware, we've got all kinds of hot sauces and barbecue sauces and rubs. We've got snacks, peanuts, popcorns, cheese crisps. We've even got chocolate. So we've got something for everybody. So even if somebody comes in and does not like jerky, they can still walk out with the product.
So let's get wild here. Okay, you ready to get wild with me? Give me your wildest jerky, your wildest sauce.
Well, when you say wild, do you mean hot?
I mean, I'll say outside the box. Yeah, exotic.
Exotic.
Your most exotic jerky, your most exotic sauce.
Well, our most exotic jerky, we carry a lot of wild game flats and jerky sticks. So we have got ostrich, alligator, kangaroo, alpaca. I would say alpaca is probably our most unique or our wildest jerky.
Marcus, I had the alpaca.
What do you think? You in? I'll give it a shot.
All right, we'll give you some.
I'll try anything. I'll try anything once. Yeah, I'll try anything once.
Okay.
You try it right now?
I'm sitting here. All we got is time.
Here, let me. I'll go grab a stick of alpaca jerky. Our wildest hot sauce. Our hottest hot sauce is 4 million Scoville units. We got a new one in since
4 million?
4 million.
J. Cole, you got a new toy to play with. He had the Mamba sauce before. That's what he said.
I'm out on the 4 million. I can't do so. Listen, I love spicy stuff.
He was putting it in pancakes. J. Cole was putting the hot sauce in pancakes.
He's a psychopath. I love.
Remind me not to go to his house for breakfast.
I love hot stuff.
I'll tell him to keep that recipe aside when he comes.
Thank you.
It just doesn't love me as much as it used to. So it leads to things down the line that I don't want to speak of right now. But so I'm not going to touch that. But it's just like I said, the wealth of knowledge that I've gained just being around you guys for the past 6 months, it's immeasurable. Like I walked in here the first day expecting, we have actually everything, expecting to see jerky and, but the textures, the spices, the flavors, I almost didn't leave. I mean, I'll move in the back if you want me to.
That's fine.
Yeah, you put a cop for me?
Yeah, okay.
So let me ask you this, do you guys have like products that are still being developed? Like do you guys still have flavors come in that are just like new that haven't come in yet?
That's a very good question. Prior to COVID again, they would come out with a couple new flavors every year. Once COVID hit, they were not able to test things the way they normally would. So we haven't really come out with some new flavors of jerky recently. We are bringing on some additional outside vendors with some other flavors of jerky. We now have chicken jerky in the store that we never had before. We've got 2 varieties of chicken jerky.
Nice.
So to your point, yeah, we try to bring in as much new stuff as we can.
Right.
Within reason, test it out before we bring it in to make sure that it's up to the quality that the Jerky outlet likes to carry.
Well, Sharon, it's been a pleasure being here today. It's a pleasure being in business with you, and I can't wait to spend more money here.
Well, the feeling is definitely mutual. I really enjoyed having you guys today, listening to all the Sixers talk. That just keeps coming and coming and coming. I think we all have our feelings about that.
Yes.
But it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure being in business with you guys for the past few months, and I look forward to continuing on.
Absolutely. That is Sharon Frybron from Beef Jerky Outlet, one half of the owners. So this day has actually been therapy for me. It's been therapy. I need it today. This is a day I didn't know I needed. You know what I mean? Because like, despite all of the Ben talk and, you know, the Sixers talk, I feel good leaving here. I don't feel as bad. Now, when I walk through this door, I don't know what's going to happen when I get out the exit sign here. But for the most part, I feel good that we did this.
Absolutely. I mean, I had my therapy session, on Monday.
Yeah, well done, by the way. Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
I there's certain, rules and laws that prevent me from saying what I really actually wanted to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought I did a fairly good job.
FDA frowns upon that.
Yeah. No.
It's FCC.
Yeah.
There it is. FDA is food, right?
Yeah, they don't really care. They won't care.
They won't care what we
say.
say. Yeah. Yeah, they don't care.
No, they don't care at all. They're saying much worse things to themselves than what I'm saying here.
So we have to get out of here in a couple minutes, but give me some final thoughts on the Sixers. Because when I come back here, we're going to talk about them, but I want to talk about them in a different light next time. But I kind of want to put a bow on the conversation we've had today. So give me some final thoughts of things that you're feeling when you get out there.
All right. Well, you got to address the contracts. You got some big time contracts you got to worry about. But, you got. I don't think you're going to bring back Dwight Howard, but now you have to find a backup center. Well, we're gonna do.
Oh yeah. Is alpaca? Yeah. Alpaca snacker. It's here.
I like
that. You got to taste. You got to taste it.
All right, so we're gonna talk. So this is good. We have this is gonna be the alpaca snacker talk stick. Okay. So like this is gonna also make us feel better. I'll think about what's going on. All right. So I have terrible fine motor skills. So let's see. Here we go. I think I got it. So continue with your thoughts, sir, as we open these packages. Or can we do two things at once?
I'm trying to get this package open too.
Jervis is stressed out too. We're all stressed out.
Please, thank you.
The Jervis got it. He's already in the snack.
What do you think?
First off, Jervis.
What did you do to this?
I half open. I try to get it open and then I messed the whole operation up. Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Ooh,
definitely need the scissors
I'm
for
in.
that one. Yeah.
I'm in. That's good. Is the mic on? One more time, Jervis.
That's good.
Delicious?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you couldn't tell me it's not like salami or something. I have no idea I'm eating alpaca. This is delicious. Like I said, this place doesn't miss. All has no misses.
No, I'm just scared about how hot some things are.
I get nervous about. That's the only thing I get nervous when we hit the 4 million stove.
Oh, pancakes. J. Cole put the
Yeah.
Mamba sauce in pancakes. I think it was 2.5 million? Yeah.
I love this. I'm in. So continue.
Yeah, so
The contracts.
we got to figure out what you're going to do with Dwight Howard.
Mhm.
I believe Seth Curry is only on a 1-year deal, so you're going to have to re-sign him. Furkan Korkmaz.
Out.
3 months ago.
Out.
Okay.
No, I can't do it anymore. So
Thank you for coming over to my side.
6 months ago, I couldn't stand him. But then I started trying. I tried to give him a chance. I tried to give him an opportunity. He was knocking down some shots. I can't do it anymore. Like, I don't want to steal, but someone from the media made a great point. During this series with Atlanta, and this is to your point too, you look at our shooters, you look at their shooters. We got Herter, Gallinari, even Lemmy Pepperlou. All the shoot guys they have, they're designated just to shoot the basketball. All I want you to do is shoot the basketball. Look at those Bogdan Bojanovic, Look at all of their shooters they have over there. Now look at what we're doing. When you're a specialist, I've said this before, I said this about JJ Redick. When you have one job, you do one thing well. When you don't do that one thing well, what good are you to me? What am I supposed to do with you? And I'm not proud of Redick. It's like, if you can't hit shots and that's your job, what else can you do to help me?
So you said that we should all pray. That we should all
Hashtag pray for Ben.
Now, the future could be dark. I'm not saying it's not, but I do have one bright spot that makes me feel good about the future, and that is knowing that Daryl Morey's in charge.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that. I feel good about that.
The ship might not be in great condition. We might not have great weather, but I do believe we have a great captain, and the captain can steer the ship through the weather to get it to where it needs to be.
I'm with you. Yes.
Wasn't Daryl the guy that didn't want James Harden here?
No. He tried. The thing is, there is so much bad blood between the Fertitta family, which are the owners of the Rockets, and Daryl Morey, with the way that Morey left the Rockets, that it didn't matter what the Sixers offered the Rockets were not taking the trade.
He flat out told them that
I'm not dealing with Daryl Morey.
And Daryl Morey told them on the way out the door that I need a break. I don't want to do this anymore.
And then
Josh Harris with the Sixers.
Then Josh Harris opened the checkbook and was like,
he did the okey doke.
Yeah. Josh Harris was like,
hit him with the oopty wopty.
He's like, oh, you're gonna take some time off?
Yeah.
How many zeros you need at the end of this?
Yeah.
How many commas? So we came here, and I mean, then it sent them in a tailspin. I mean, right now, the Rock, did they get the number 1 pick?
Houston?
No.
I didn't watch. Listen, I didn't watch any basketball. I couldn't do it.
Because they had the top odds to get to
Yeah. I'm not. I couldn't watch any basketball. I couldn't do it.
I didn't watch any yes, but I did see a highlight of the alley-oop at the end. But back to what I was saying about Morey, as long as he's in charge, I feel good. I don't trust Elton Brand. I don't trust Josh Harris or whoever the other guy that is the other co-owner.
Detroit Pistons is number 1. Houston Rockets number 2.
Except number 2. So they went from having Daryl Morey to getting the number 2 overall pick. If I'm Tillman Fertitta, I just got done out. So he made all of his money off of casinos.
Yeah.
He's a very big casino owner in Vegas, all over the country. Out of the pandemic, all of his money is tied into restaurants and casinos. So he lost a ton of money over the last year and a half. The last thing he wanted was his GM of the Year annual candidate to walk out the door and go to another team over money. So there was no trade. You could have sent him Maxey, Simmons, Embiid, and Thibault and 5 first-round picks for Harden. You probably still were not going to get the deal done because they just flat out were not going to deal with the Sixers.
Right. So Jervis, final thoughts. Put a bow on this bow on the season.
Ben's not going nowhere.
I'm with you.
It's that plain and simple.
Hashtag pray for Ben.
You can only hope that he turns into the player that you all envisioned him to be. And if not, it's another year. That is.
We got to talk here before we leave. We might have to have a conversation with the ownership here, see if we can get some Ben Simmons scandals sold here. So we can get a Ben Simmons section.
Well, we'll hold some kind of a memorial in the parking lot.
Yeah, we could do a Ben Memorial in the parking lot. Absolutely. That might be the next show here, the Ben Memorial.
Well, we got something special for Ben and the foul shooting next week.
Yes. Do you want to tell them about it now, or?
I mean, why not?
Let them have it. What are we doing?
So it took Simmons. Ready? 75 shots to hit 25 foul shots.
Yes.
Okay. So Marcus and I are going to go out next week to the park, and we're going to see how many shots it takes for us to make 25.
If I don't do it in 35, I'll never play basketball again.
Hold on. I'm cutting that. We're saving that.
If I don't do it in 35, I will never play basketball again.
See, you know how high of a percentage that is? Like, you're putting your percentage. When was the last time you shot a foul shot?
It was nice seeing you in the courts, Marcus.
About 2 months ago. 2 months ago. Bro, it's a foul shot, bro. I was a career 85 to 90% foul shooter. I got this. Muscle memory. It don't go away.
So instead of shooting foul shots, you guys should back it up because that's what Ben didn't do. So you guys should back it up. take a deeper shot.
I'll shoot some threes too.
I'll shoot some threes.
See
I'm
how
not
many
afraid.
threes you
I'm not
make.
scared.
See how many threes you make out of 75, and that's your
Okay.
bet percentage for free throws.
That doesn't make
It'll
any
probably be
sense.
comparable.
That makes no sense.
So,
Not how you do math.
Marcus, I don't see you shooting 72% right out of the gate. You're cold. You're coming out. It's 72%. Okay.
Do you want to put a side wager on this?
What happened the last time we made a side wager?
I lost. But do you want to put a side wager on this? But the thing is, the terms were never disclosed. But then, bro, I'm gonna hit 25 out of 35.
You're not.
It's happening.
That's 72%. So I'm trying to be realistic. I'm saying I'll hit 25 shots.
Yeah, but you're not me.
With 60.
I'm a Hall of Famer, bro. 1969.
But you were playing against plumbers and electricians.
I'm a Hall of Famer in the trucks.
It's like Babe Ruth playing against a bunch of railroad workers.
That's true. Listen, right now, could I go out there and play full court ball right now? Absolutely not. My knee, no, not happening. However, I can knock down some free throws. If you had to depend on me to knock down free throws to save your life, you're in good hands.
All right, I'll do that.
You're in good hands with Marcus Brown.
Okay. I'll say that you can't do it in under 40. I'll even give you an extra 5 shots.
You're giving me 40?
I'll give you. You gotta hit 25 out of 40.
Bro, write your ticket.
Oh,
Write your
for
ticket.
this.
Write your ticket. This is gonna be easy money.
Well, this will be up on YouTube next week. So.
Yes. All right, so that's happening next week. Anything else coming up? That sounds good to me.
Yeah. The usual. I mean, now we're stuck with having to watch an inadequate baseball team.
I don't want
We had to watch whatever happened last night, whatever you want to consider that on the Phillies Diamond.
Yeah. I have enough misery. I don't want to get into that.
You don't want to talk about Spider Tack?
No. I don't want to talk about spin rate. No. No desire to.
Launch angle?
No.
Exit velocity?
At Marcus be tweeting everywhere.
At Justin Emery Show on the Bluebird app?
You can catch me at Sage Herb on everything.
Bright Memory Pod everywhere. BrightMemoryShow.com for that amazing merchandise. Special thanks to Beef Jerky Outlet one more time for letting us have this space. This has been a lot of fun. We can't wait to come back and do this again. Catch us next week at the foul line. Me shooting 25-29.
20. Oh. No chance.
Until next time, you be with us, you be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.